And we are live, and we're live. Good morning, everybody. It's your favorite truck driver in the whole wide world. It's Bitcoin Ben here with a special guest. Let's shut this guy up going live. Oh my God, I'm going live everywhere. All the bells and whistles. Ben's live
Holy
with a
crap, Ben Fly.
yeah, special guest. One of my oldest, and I don't mean age wise, but how long I've known
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
and closest friends is Bixweir. And anybody who has been around since I think the late '90s is like when you really jumped into the mix. And who's actually been around like gold and silver. Then he was an early adopter on cryptos and just has been in the fight for not only freedom, but actually like educating the populace on the old system and how it ain't made for us, folks. And and I also want people to realize that you're looking at a legend, right? Wait, yeah, right here. He's the only person I know that the Federal Reserve actually mimicked his personality in a Federal Reserve educational brochure and like book, and it's I've rambled enough. Everybody, Mr. Bixweir, how you doing,
Yeah,
Bix?
I am awesome. It's good to see you, Ben. As always, we are right in the middle right now of our Freedom Road Tour, and we are going from town to town talking about freedom and educating people on cryptos and silver and the necessity of a new system and singing songs about it. And the Q&A has been awesome. I am totally blown away about the amount of knowledge in each town we go to about what's really happening behind the scenes. I mean, 20 years ago, I couldn't find anybody to talk about this stuff. Now there's people showing up in every single town we go to, fully educated, fully ready, and prepared to fight the fight against the banking cabal and all that. So having a great time here out on the road, and we get to sing songs about it.
Yeah, and that's actually, that's actually something else. Is that Bix not only is handsome, not only is extremely knowledgeable on the old system and the new system, he's also a musician with some legendary crypto music. I've I've often said you are the grandfather of like crypto freedom, like
Crypto
folk
folk. Yeah,
music.
that's you
Yeah,
term that coin, crypto folk music. I love it.
it and you're an awesome songwriter. You know, Litecoin is the right coin. My that's like my wife's like favorite song you do, and Crypto Warriors. You know, and I like that one because I'm in it.
You're the
But it,
star of that song. And Theta Girl.
yeah, it's you've you've encapsulated this freedom movement into a roadshow that is just educating the average guy and the average gal, and you're entertaining them at the same time. It's it's a perfect mixture.
Yeah, we've kind of perfected the going around and talking to people, and I what I love is people will come with friends and family who think they are crazy, and then they come to a road show and they get a little entertainment, they get a little education, and they start asking those questions that need to be asked. When does it end? When do they stop printing fiat money? why are we judging certain currencies against each other when they're all pieces of crap that are being inflated to infinity? It should be judged against the real things like cryptocurrencies, like gold and silver. Those are the real judges, and those are the asset types that the bankers and the politicians want to price suppress with their computer manipulations. So yeah, that's the idea, is to spread the knowledge and give people enough knowledge so that when this system falls apart, they know what's going to happen. They're going to stand up and scream, here's what we want and here's what we don't want. And yeah, it's a great time. We are currently in Kansas City, Missouri, with a show tonight at Llewellyn's Pub. Llewellyn's Pub, starting at 6. We go from about 6 to 9. Bring your friends, bring your family. You can pay at the door. It's like $25 or something to get in, and it's a blast. It's really fun. We have an auction, not an auction. What do we have? We have raffles. We have raffles for silver Ruta coins and things like that. It's great fun. So bring your family, bring your friends. It's a party.
Absolutely. If you're even near Kansas City, go there this evening, right?
Yep, tonight at 6 o'clock.
Yep, and I have a link under all of my videos that will actually take you to Pix's website, which is roadtoruta.com, and get your tickets. You will not be disappointed. It's a great time, and you learn, you laugh. We cry a lot of the time.
You and I cry. I've broken up a couple times, but when Ben and I get together, it's a weep fest.
Absolutely, it's the emotion of freedom. I think it's what pushes. Because I know that your whole group there who helps you is you, your wife, your daughter, her, I'm assuming, fiance. Are they married
I'm
yet?
assuming that too, but it hasn't happened yet. I'm waiting on that
Oh,
one.
good Lord. What's that guy waiting on?
He's crazy. I don't know. He's a snooze you lose around here.
Yeah, hey, he better pick her up before someone else does.
Oh, I know. There's a line out the door for that.
Yeah, she's beautiful. She's a great gal. It's now on this episode, because I have you and you are a busy man, we reach a lot of new people on all of our platforms. I want to add, and a little history. Uh, Pix used to live in the old system. He was a banker. Right? He handled loans and on all the good stuff. So he lived in that world for 20 plus years, folks. That was his bread and butter. So when he talks about it, it isn't hyperbole. It's uh, this is what happens, and I want to run through a couple of questions because there's so much going on globally that people hear, but they may not grasp how literally the old system is it's going under. It is dying as we speak. Now, we've heard that like European bonds are just garbage and bond rates and all this stuff. Number one, what is a bond? Number two, and what's a yield? And what's the interest on a bond and all that good stuff? What is a bond?
Well, there's all different kinds of bonds. What you're talking about probably are government bonds. It's how government raises money. It's an IOU from the government, basically. And the interesting thing about the bond market, there's corporate bonds. You can buy, a bond of Apple Computer and things like that. It takes precedence over a stock. If there's a bankruptcy, the bond payers get out, basically get their money out before any stock owner gets the money out of in a bankruptcy situation of a company. But of a government, it's a bit different. Europe has had bonds that basically are negative interest rates, which means you pay them to hold your money, which is the craziest thing you've ever heard of, but it's actually what happened and what's going on now. And as that, they're trying to raise their interest rates now, which is crazy also because they're still printing money and bailing people out behind the scenes. Basically, the whole problem with the bond market is a problem with the entire market. There's rehypothecation of assets. And what that means is every single asset out there, including cryptos, including stocks, including gold and silver derivatives, are being duplicated. So you'll have a single bond put out, say the U.S. government puts out $100 million bond, and big institutions buy that bond, and then they trade it all the time, every day, and they've lost track of how many are out there, what the serial numbers of that actual bond is. All this stuff goes on behind the scenes because we've moved to an electronic monetary system. Same thing happens at the crypto exchanges. Hopefully everybody that you've talked to has gotten their cryptos out of the exchanges. You want your assets in your own possession now. And the reason is they rehypothecate cryptos just the same. There's all these exchanges. It really started with Mt. Gox. When Mt. Gox came around I don't know how many years ago now, I still have a Bitcoin in Mt. Gox, but they said they lost the cryptos or they got hacked originally, and then they found a whole bunch of them. The reality was that they were trading more cryptos than their customers had. So, and it was to the extent where everybody said, oh my God, there's not the amount of cryptos in these exchanges is not enough to cover the actual customers' holdings in these exchanges. So a couple of big players tried to get out. That's when they shut down. We're going to see that probably with every crypto exchange. Unless they're one for one trading real cryptos, which none of them are right now, we're going to see huge problems when people try to take their cryptos out of the exchanges, and then they'll make up some reason. We're down for maintenance. That's the classic one that the crypto exchanges always use when the prices get crushed. But the big thing to remember is they can set the price with computers and derivatives on these exchanges. They can set the price to zero. They set the price of oil to minus $40. And that was just shocking to some people. But when you're controlling 95% of the trades with computers and derivatives, trading back and forth to each other, you can set the price anywhere you want. And so when it comes to bonds and even foreign exchange transactions, foreign exchange, you'll hear the strong dollar, or the euro is near parity with the dollar. All that is different pieces of crap being measured against each other. Yeah, the U.S. dollar is strong only because everything else is so massively weak. They're all printing money like it's going out of style. The only real assets that you'd be thinking about should be things that you can hold in your possession, like cryptocurrencies that had limited supply, those type of things. Gold and silver, limited supply of the real thing, not the derivatives they trade. I highly suggest everybody get a little silver for the coming silver shakeup, because there's a big issue coming down the line. Probably September, October. Yes, absolutely. Bitcoin Ben knows. So I think when explaining bonds or stocks or anything, all you got to remember is everything has gone into the digital world. And because it isn't on the blockchain, it is completely made up stuff. They're trading as many as they want to press the price any which way they want. When we get to a crypto-backed exchange, so that you can see every transaction on the blockchain, that's when it'll be safe to get back into these trading waters. Until then, just remember, they can do anything they want to price because it's all fake. The whole thing is fake.
Yeah, I tell people, as you know, CALIX Solutions, we offer a crypto laptop, and it's literally, that is your safe. It's your safe that is anchored to your house, that is, in there. You don't use it for nothing else. You're not on Amazon. You're not checking emails. You're not doing any of that. Because people need to realize that when this goes, and it's not going to be long. If you listen to Cliff High, he's sending out like,
He's not even winking anymore. He's screaming it.
hey everybody. Yeah. He's literally on the edge of his like little mountain there. And he's like, hey everybody, things are about to get really, really bad. And it's you highly recommend silver over gold, right?
Yes, if you understand gold, the power of gold, the meaning of gold, then you'll understand silver, and then you need to think about how much of there is there in the world of each. Now, according to the mainstream, they say there's 6 billion ounces of gold in the world and about 6 billion ounces of silver. So you would think that the ratio should be at least 1-to-1, because silver is used not only as a monetary metal but as a industrial metal in everything from flat screen TVs to solar panels to electric cars. But yeah, if you own gold, you can trade for 90 ounces of silver today. I tell my gold bug friends, and I have a lot of them. Like, I mean, gold, being a gold bug is more a mental thing, and the banks have most of the gold. We already know that, but the reality is, if you love gold, what you do right now is you buy silver, and then later, when the price ratio gets to something in the normal range, maybe just historically it should be 12-to-1, but it's going to go 1-to-1, or probably silver will overtake gold in price. Then you can swap back for gold if you love gold so much. But I pretty much guarantee when silver runs, and it always runs faster than gold on the upside, when silver runs, you're never going to want to get rid of your silver. You're not going to trade it for anything except maybe a house in the Caribbean or a Malibu beach condo type of thing. So yes, definitely at this time, with the current ratio being 90-to-1, 90 ounces of silver to 1 ounce of gold, it is the time to buy silver. Or if you have gold, swap your gold for 90 ounces of silver.
Yeah, it's gold, silver, cryptos is and also having extra food. It's these are hedges against a system that is held together with propaganda and the light of truth, with, which is led, which is actually being led by people like you and Cliff High and Trump and just a ton of people, and it's this light of truth is actually being shined on the old system, and the rats are running. It's in your opinion, with everything geopolitical, everything going on with the country, I don't think they've got. I don't think that the global powers that be, they don't have the control they have anymore. And I think this election coming up, I think it's going to be a surprise what a sweep it's going to be for not the Republicans, for the freedom people who are running for office.
Well, if we do have an election, I think it's a big if. I think neither side will accept the winners. Both sides will be claiming that the other side cheated, which they're probably both right. We do not have free and fair elections by far. But there'll be things in the financial realm. I've talked almost 20 years about the idea that both sides, the good guys and the bad guys, want to destroy the unbacked fiat monetary system, what we've been living in. And the bad guys want to destroy it because they're being exposed. They'd rather just get away with their crimes and walk off into the sunset. The good guys want to destroy it because we need something better. We need a better system. Now, in the United States of America, we are lucky to have a system already on the books, and that is gold and silver as our constitutional money. I'm not saying that's all that we will use as money, but in a world that has like, for example, one bank, JP Morgan, goes down, every bank on the planet goes down, every exchange goes down, even the crypto exchanges will go down because they're intertwined with the monetary system. So if one bank goes down, you're looking at somebody has to decide what the next monetary system is, because it won't be the same thing, and it won't be decided by the people who screwed up this last one. And that's the problem. The deciders. There's going to be no trust in government, no trust in financial leaders like the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, or the IMF or the World Bank. Everybody's like, oh, we're going to go to an SDR system and then a quantum financial system. All that takes deciders, and I don't think anybody is able to decide. Now, in the United States, I think we're lucky. It's already been decided. It was decided over 100 years ago that we'd use gold and silver as money. That is still on the books of our Constitution and the constitutional documents that can lead us back to something more safe. And that's what the Federal Reserve Road to Ruta documents were talking about. Is we will have some kind of gold back system. I don't know about silver. I don't think there's enough silver in the world to cover both functions. But I do know there's a hell of a lot more gold than they're telling us. And if you look at the Road to Ruta documents, you look at what the U.S. Mint is currently doing with the silver and gold eagles, just stopping production. Literally, they are stopping production of them.
They can't do that.
They legally, well, with gold they can, but with silver it is illegal for them to not supply the silver eagles in quantities to meet demand. But yeah, there's a lot of things our government can't do legally that they do. And that's the sad part of America. But all this will change. When we have a banking collapse and people can't get their money out of their ATMs, that's when everything changes, because that's when people turn into Americans and stop being Democrats and Republicans and independents and all that.
Yeah, it's and I think what people are waiting for is one certain day, that all of a sudden there's going to be one day that everything changes. Well, that's not how life works. It's a continuance of events that will happen, and it's like watching a high rise drop. You'll see it dropping, and you'll see it eventually. Each level of the old system will go away. That's what Cliff was explaining in the video he put out last night. Was you'll see elements of the system drop off, or personalities drop off, and as you see that, there will be a rising economy that actually comes out of that. But the rising economy is going to be a real economy. It's going to be people like you and I choosing who switch over. Like, I actually get paid a lot in cryptos. I don't even deal in like US dollars that much anymore. And I'll even take like silver and gold. It's I'd rather have anything else than the dollar. And how do you see this rolling out is this going to be a large event, then a bunch of smaller events, or smaller events until it just
I see a large event, but a large event and then attempts to restart the old system that fail. So, for example, let's just say, let's use the biggest, most criminal bank on the planet, JP Morgan. If JP Morgan go down, every single stock market, bond market, bank will cease to function because they are so large and the derivative market is so intertwined in JP Morgan. And there's about 10 of these banks that are too big to fail banks. And the reason they call them too big to fail bank is once they fail, it takes out, it's a domino effect of all the other banks. And then the derivative market is probably the key. Warren Buffett called it a weapon of mass financial destruction because when the derivative market goes, it all goes. And just every single bank on the planet, they're all fractional reserve systems, meaning that they lend out a hell of a lot more cash than they have. That's how money is created in America. It's lent into existence. So when you buy a house, the bank has, you buy $1 million house, the bank has about $100,000 and then will create the $900,000 more as debt with interest needed to be paid by you. They created that out of thin air. What a job that is, to create money and then charge interest for it. And it was never in creation before. So that the majority of money out there is created by the banks for the banks. And as that stops, as that one of these banks does something wrong, we were literally 30 minutes away from it in 2008. And that was on September 11th of 2008. So you think, okay, somebody knew something about pulling the plug. I think it was the good guys. I think we're coming up to another September 11th day. You know, if the system stays intact, but I do think they will attempt to rejigger the system. You know, people like Janet Yellen and Jerome Powell will say, "Okay, here's the new system. We're gonna go to CBDC, and we're gonna allocate money to everybody, and you got to have it on your phone. So we got to track everything you do in life." And then people are like, "No, we're not listening to you people anymore. You screwed up the last system. It's your fault. It wasn't." For example, 2008, it wasn't the home buyers that made the mistakes. It was the derivative banking sellers of those homes. And they were the ones faking all the documents and started the crash in the mortgage derivative market, which was going to take everything down. The banks love to get us in a situation where we are the ones responsible. No matter what they do, we're the ones who get screwed. So every show I do, I say, okay, raise your hand if you think we're going to bail out the banks again like we did in 2008. Nobody ever raises their hand. And then I explain to them, if you don't bail out those banks, you will lose your checking account, your savings account, your 401k, any crypto you have in an exchange, all your bonds, all your retirement money, everything will be gone. Are you okay with that? And they're like, no, I'm not okay with that. So that's how the bankers get us. If you don't bail us out, then you lose everything. Heads we win, tails you lose. You know, have you seen any of the bankers giving back all these profits they've made since the bailout? No. These entities that control the bankers, and I was a banker for 25 years. I get how it works. 99.9% of the people in banking are just normal schmoes like me. Saying, okay, I understand this business. It's a good business. Who wouldn't want to work for a bank when they create money out of thin air? But the 1%, the 0.1% that controls the whole system and keeps it going, those are the ones that they have a plan. Their plan is to destroy everything and then buy it up on the cheap. They did it in 2008 with the housing market. Who ended up with most of the houses? The banks. Right now, BlackRock has I don't even know how big their fund is, ready for the collapse to buy up your house. Do what I would tell everybody, do what they're doing in China. When this shit falls apart, stop paying your mortgage. If everybody does it at the same time, we win. We get rid of the bankers, and then we got to start fresh. And there's a lot of ways to think about that. But I think cryptos will be heavily involved in our future, but gold and silver will end the manipulation, the 100-year manipulation of the gold and silver price. I just think about silver. Silver is currently trading around $18.50, which is like 60% lower than the 2008 or 1980 highs. 1980. So that's 42 years later, silver is trading still because they run the market manipulation at full tilt with the computers and derivatives. 3 JP Morgan traders are currently on trial for RICO charges for rigging the silver market and the gold market. But it's just shocking. The amount of money we've spent, paid, and created since 1980 is off the charts. And silver, a monetary metal, historically the oldest monetary metal, is still trading at 40% of its all-time highs. 40% of its all-time highs.
That's what people have to understand, is that silver is in our Constitution.
Yep. It is the definition of a dollar. And
Yeah.
a Federal Reserve note is not the definition of a dollar. People ask me, because I do think you should hold some cash on hand for the transition, because people will just be used to it. And they're like, well, should I hold hundreds or 50s or 20s? And I'm like, truthfully, a Federal Reserve note might not get you anything, but a coin minted by the U.S. Mint, just your normal change, your quarters, nickels, and dimes, are very different than a Federal Reserve note. The money of the United States comes out of the mint, not the Federal Reserve note. That's the Federal Reserve, a completely separate entity. So if you're going to keep money on hand, keep a lot of change, is my take.
Yeah, and here locally in St. Louis, there's a change shortage. You'll have gas stations, hey, we need nickels and dimes. We need quarters.
That's a great conspiracy, because I know a guy, and I saw the video of him. He works for the U.S. Mint. He says, I don't know why the Mint's telling everybody there's a change shortage, because the Mint has massive amounts of change in their warehouses, like gigantic bags and bushels of change. So it gets to, does the U.S. Mint, and this is partially why they're stopping the minting of gold and silver eagles, do they want the money of the United States to get out to a concentrated amount of people? Because those of us in the know are buying as much as we can, and they don't want that. So they're not allocating it according to the laws with silver. They're required by law. There's Andy Schechtman, my good friend over at Miles Franklin, had an order for $50 million worth of gold and silver eagles, and he couldn't get the eagles. You can't get, he bought out everybody, and the Mint has, this year they'll only produce 14 or 15 million when they have the capacity to produce over 47 million silver eagles, but they're choosing not to. And as the price drops, you've got to wonder, hey, where's the supply and demand? Where are the regulators? If the price is dropping, that means there's a hell of a lot of silver out there, and the premiums on eagles are like 10 to 12, $15 per coin, which is insane. You're paying 40% premium on something. So yeah, it's all a mess, and it's part of the this is part of the play. As things fall apart, we're gonna have to figure this all out.
Yeah, and the issue are probably the biggest issue we have is that we are dealing with a government that is not holding up the existing laws. They live outside the laws. So it we have very few weapons against them when they aren't held to the law or truth. Because as you've actually been saying for however many years, look, this is corrupt. This is wrong. This is against the law. The government looks at it and goes, well, we're just managing the system. Well, no, that's manipulating the system. The system should be a free market system. When you're managing it, you're manipulating it. And that's why so many gold bugs and silver bugs and like crypto people are so frustrated we rely on honesty in our lives. Like, we can't walk around and lie all the time and still have people actually work with us, but the government has this illusion of authority that they can lie because they're just keeping the system going. Well, when your system is based on a lie, it's not a system, it's a prison. And that's why your Freedom Road show is so important. I mean, you and I have actually gone out on tours and, done shows and all over the country, and more, I see more and more people actually mimicking what you have done for years, like getting out in the public. And now don't get me wrong, I encourage that, but you're growing more popular. You're getting out there and you're educating people. I'm actually making plans for next year for a an event that you're actually going to be at, and we'll probably have like X22. Cliff High won't be there in person, but he'll probably record a video for us. And it's these events are going to draw in more and more people. And it's so important that you're out there doing that. What was the catalyst that you said? Because I know you pretty well. You have done well for yourself, and we'll leave it at that. You don't need all that. You're like a you're like a Trump almost. It's 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 not for the money. I know that. You're out there because of, and why are you out there?
Well, I've always loved my country, and I've seen the sacrifices that our military has made. I've seen the sacrifices that good people have made who have been taken out by the bad people within our government. I've seen people's lives destroyed, their life savings destroyed from market manipulation, and you can't take money with you when you head on out of this life. What you can take with you is what you did here, and the love and support of people that you affect their lives, and you help them navigate a very complicated system. Our fractional reserve banking system is very complicated, but if my take is if I can help even a small amount of people, that's a bigger success story than any type of money you can ever make. And I truly believe that, and I live that. Every time we go on the road, I'm like, well, Road to Ruta is about to lose a hell of a lot more money. But and mainly because of gas these days. Oh my God, are you kidding me? So we travel
Especially with an RV.
Yeah, we travel in 2 RVs. Paige and Josh have an RV too. So I'm out there. The gas stations love me. We're racking up $300 bills every time we stop, and we'll stop at a couple. If we're on a long leg between shows, it's a lot of money. But it is literally. I mean, I didn't care how much money it costs to be out, and you taught me this. It's so much better to be out in front of people and to be interacting with people on a real basis, and you get real conversations. And I learned so much from the road. To me, I see it as an educational experience. I help educate people, but they educate me, and the Q&As that we do are wonderful. and there's a lot of brand new thoughts and ideas, and people have ideas of how they want to change things. And I agree with 99% of them, but at the end of the day, I'm always like, the problem with something like Nestra or Gestra or the quantum financial system, that all needs a decider, and everybody has to agree on that decision, and we're not going to have one. We're going to lose trust in everything when the banking system fails. So, but we do have a constitution, and we can go back to gold and silver. I think the blockchain can facilitate a gold and silver standard pretty easily, because the blockchain introduces truth and honesty into gold and silver. As far as let's say Russia wants to back their currency, no other country is going to believe that they have the gold behind their currency. Belief will be gone. There'll be no trust between governments in this as the old system fades. So it gets back to, okay, what are we going to use? We can use gold and silver for a while. Crypto's amazing invention. It's an amazing invention. There's so many great ones. We can go back to that. We can use that to kind of weave it in, but we have to do it in a way that increases freedom and doesn't decrease freedom. And that's so important. Like Dick Allgire's, bad guys that Dick Allgire thinks will take over our lives, they want to increase their power over us. They want to look at every single transaction. Gary Gensler wants to dive into your life and take control of money because that's what he thinks the government is in charge of. That is not true. Government doesn't need to be involved at all with money, if you ask me, and they probably shouldn't be. They're the worst people to put in charge of money. So that's why I run around preaching, and that's why we're on the road. And I think we're changing lives, and meeting people is an experience that, I mean, isn't it great to talk to people who have similar beliefs and ideas as you? And there are many out there. We got 50, 75, 100 people at these shows. So yeah, come on out and visit us and hang out.
Yeah,
and we'll be in St. Louis.
Yes, I was just about to say, hey, what's up, Patrick?
Hey, Benjamin.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, Fix. How you doing, brother?
I'm awesome. Knee deep in the road show.
You gonna see you this weekend?
Yes, sir. Saturday we'll be in St. Louis.
Excellent. Okay, well, I'll have to cut down my time at the farm. I had some stuff to do up there, but you're first. So
you got to get there, man. You got to get there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Ben is going to sing a song for us.
What time is it? What time?
4 to 7.
Yeah, 4 until 7.
Until whenever.
Or they kick us out.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll be there with bells on.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah, it's this coming Saturday. The link is under all of the videos. Get your tickets. I'll be there. Patrick will be there. Bix and his lovely wife Amy will be there. My wife will also be there.
Oh, nice.
And so will Alexa.
Yay!
She is holding you too. When she gets married, you have to play at her wedding.
I promised her, absolutely. I'll write her a song for her wedding.
And oh, that's awesome! Yes.
Wait. Do you have something to announce on the Alexa side, or is this just something?
No. That she hasn't met a man strong enough to handle her yet.
Well, look at her role model. You good luck finding that man.
Yeah, I mean, we are living in such an exciting / scary, time, but you just got to deal with it, roll with it, and try and warn your friends. If you're near St. Louis this Saturday, we will be in Arnold, Missouri. There's a link with the address and all that. You won't be able to miss it. I have signs like leading to it from all directions.
All over Missouri.
Right. And we'll have a lot of local folks. We'll have me and Bix. In fact, I think Clint Westwood will be there.
Yep.
And we're going to have a ton of great people. and show up, get involved. It's a great education. It's entertaining, and probably the most exciting part is actually being around people who are like-minded and passionate about it. And you really get the crowd into it with the music and the sing-alongs and all that. And it's and I personally want to say, Bix, your energy, your drive, your never give up, uh, moving forward. You encourage all of us to wake up and go, okay, let's get at it again. And I just want to say thank you, Bix. I mean, you are a legend, and I mean literally a legend. And there will be movies
Comic books. There'll be comic books.
yeah,
Well, thank you so much, Ben. I mean, I have a lot of friends in cryptos and in silver, and I think it just one of my best friends in life. And we met on the internet, but when we're together, it's like I love hugging Bitcoin Ben. He's just fun to hug, and
I'm squishy.
Absolutely, words of wisdom always come out of his mouth when you least expect it to. We'll be talking about something crazy, and I won't be able to explain it. And Ben will say, well, here's a good way to think about it. And that's the beauty of what you do. And I want to thank you for what you have done for everybody who follows you and for me and the movement. So thank you, Ben.
Hey, no problem. I can't wait to see you on Saturday afternoon at 4 until 7, Arnold, Missouri, which is right outside of St. Louis, Missouri. Tickets are under the video, or go to www.roadtoruda.com, and
you can get them at the door. You can get them at the door as well, but
yes.
yeah, if you can get them online, it's easier for us to figure out how many seats we're going to need and things like that.
Yep.
And we only take cash at the door, only cash or cryptos
or
silver. but I don't recommend.
Bring some silver.
I don't recommend. Don't give up your silver. Hang on to that. But we will take silver as well if you want to part with yours. I don't recommend that though.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a blast. And Hicks, thank you for pulling over or whatever you did
Pretty much.
order to get. Yeah, pull over. It's time to do the show.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you for having me on, and good luck with all the battles that you guys are fighting.
No problem, brother. Love you, and I will talk to you later. Everyone else, hang on 1 second. I'll be right back, and we will be talking about the 3-hour entrepreneur video tonight on Patreon. But let's hear a word from our sponsor right now, as soon as I can get this going. I'm such a professional.
Good.
Are you buying and selling cryptos on the same laptop that you're using to browse the internet, read your email, and visit social media sites? If so, you're exposing your cryptos to theft. Whenever you're online, you're at risk of getting hacked and having your identity stolen. How would you feel if someone stole all of your cryptos? What would that do to your finances? Guard your cryptos with a safe and secure laptop from CALIX Solutions. Each laptop is set up just for you and your cryptos, and then we walk you through exactly how it works. Don't risk the security of your cryptos. Order a crypto laptop from CALIX Solutions now to secure your crypto future. Learn more at calixsolutions.io.
And we're back. Okay, welcome back, everybody. God, I love that guy. That guy's amazing. And I want to give a shout out to Clint. Oh, there we go. I'm back. Voila. So Clint Westwood is a gem. He's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. And he'll be there this Saturday in Arnold, Missouri. Walk up, hug him, give him a big old bear hug. Trust me, you won't miss Clint Westwood. He's a big old boy, but he's a teddy bear. And I just want to say, Clint, thank you for showing up this weekend. And he's an amazing man. Check out his show. Now, it's Wednesday, which means the 3-hour Patreon show this evening. Now, I'll actually be doing the show from my house, the Three Seasons room at my house this evening. So, this evening, what we're going to talk about on the 3-hour Patreon show is El Salvador. I had a chance to talk with a couple of lawyers and a couple of businessmen, one guy associated with the government. My friends, the entrepreneurial opportunities in El Salvador, it's why we have an office in El Salvador. We already have it. I'm going down there in like 3 weeks. I will be in El Salvador broadcasting live from our office. The entrepreneurial opportunities in El Salvador are unreal with how much the government is encouraging. They have oceanfront land that they'll help you get for like hardly nothing, or help you with a loan or something. This evening, we're going to talk about the opportunities in El Salvador, the dual citizenship option in El Salvador, our new office in El Salvador, the founders group meeting in El Salvador, and how the office in El Salvador is going to be linked with the office in Florida, which opens once I get down in Florida in like 3 weeks. Everything's going on. And I want to be able to show you the energy in El Salvador. When I'm down there, we're going to be recording. We are going to be doing shows. I'm going to be doing interviews. I'm going to be meeting with some government officials. I'm going to be I'm going to be down there, guys. Don't be surprised. And this is not hyperbole. This is not a joke. don't be surprised when next year we announced a Founders Group hotel and resort, a Bitcoin resort in El Salvador. That's the level that we're talking about. A resort that you can come to. Everything's crypto. That it's gonna be like the Willy Wonka of crypto. And it's gonna be on the beach. It's gonna have beachfront. The waiters, all of the employees will be paid in Bitcoin, um, or other cryptocurrencies. The environment down there someone writes, El Salvador, isn't that the poorest place in South America? Isn't it the most dangerous place? No, my friend. You have not seen the transformation. Just in the last year, yes, exactly, Rob, El Salvador changing fast. Just in the last year, the government has cleaned up a ton of areas, and they are looking to relaunch El Salvador. It is a new country. Ever since they adopted the Bitcoin, hey, we got a manager. Jimmy Dribbles Combe. Is that really your last name? Holy moly. Just saying it makes me sound like I have a speech impediment. Bibbles Combe. Oh, yeah. Hey, you're hired, girl. And yes, I'm assuming your gender. The world's growing, but it's shrinking. El Salvador and, all right, how can I say this without giving away everything? There are multiple multi-millionaires and several billionaires who are funding the transformation of El Salvador. It is going to be the South American crypto New York mixed with Vegas. Let me put it that way. If you took New York, mixed it with Vegas, shook it up, and put it in South America, that is going to be El Salvador. Look on YouTube. Look for El Salvador future Bitcoin city layout. Watch that video. So, everybody, look, if you're interested in dual citizenship, If you're interested in an early seed investment in El Salvador, we have a corporation that we formed in El Salvador. If you're a Founders Group member, you can use our office address as your office address. If you're interested, watch the 3-hour video tonight with me live on Patreon. Click the link under here. Go to my Patreon page and go to the investors tier or the X22 tier. I think I'm going to include the X22 tier this evening because there's things that they also need to know. So, someone says, what time? I will be going live at 6. So 6 until 9 on my Patreon channel. We are going to talk about everything, folks. And there's a lot to talk about. Love you guys. See you tonight on Patreon.